Hey, what's up, good people? It's your boy 3 Stacks in this thing, baby, representing Team Kings of Games, and today I'm showcasing you guys my take on For Hires. I waited a long time to build this deck, but I have a really saucy list, and the game plan with my For Hires is actually want to go second. I find that this deck is best played going second. I know a lot of people play going first. A lot of people don't see potential in certain cards like the Field Spell, but I really love this list. It's actually really powerful. I tested it so far against 6 Ams, the Mirror Match Thunder Dragons. I've tested it against my Hero to Perfection deck, and I've also tested it against this Sky Striker Hybrid. But it's really solid. Like, it's really strong. The only deck that I actually lost against was actually the Mirror Match when he effect veiled me, and I had no follow-up, which really sucked.
Who puts effect veiler?
Yeah. But we're gonna showcase you guys the list. It's actually really dope. Like, there were some crazy plays I was making playtesting with it where I ended up triggering Fogo to draw 3, then I summoned 3 Skuldrek, proxy the other 2, and then I summoned Borreload and Borosword after summoning the 3 Skuldrek and still had 9 cards in hand. Like, and it was after resolving the Field Spell to blow up everything, so it was just like styling at that point. It's a really good deck. It's high-key underrated. You just really have to know what you're doing when you play this deck. So we're going to start off with the main boss monsters. So the For Hires are broken down in categories. They're all pirates, and I feel like this is the hierarchy, right? So we're going to start off with 3 Raphael. I'm not sure who the captain is, but I would say he probably is the captain. Who knows? But Raphael, he's a really strong card. He has a pseudo-duality effect. If you special him, you can excavate the top cards of your deck up to the number of For Hires except for him. With different names, you add any excavated card you want to your hand. And then during either player's turn, he can negate a monster effect by discarding a For Hire card. So he doesn't destroy, but he still negates, which it's good, but it's bad. But at the same time, it's a main deck boss monster that you can play, and you can get interruptions on your opponent's turn.
And it's not once per turn either.
Yeah, well, like each effect's once. And then we play 2 copies of Wiz. What Wiz basically is the counterpart to Raphael. It can negate spells or trap effects by discarding a For Hire card. And also, if it's special summon, you gain 500 life points for every For Hire with different names except for itself. And then I played 2 Sajida. I was going to play 1, but the reason why I played 2, because there's actually a cool lock. It's like a dupe lock where you can get 2 Sajidas on the field and they protect themselves. What it says is no For Hire monsters you control can be targeted except for this one. But when you have 2, nothing can be targeted. It's just like having 2 dupe frogs. That's the main reason for playing it. And also, when you're going for pushes, like, you can use Sajida to potentially burn for 25, which is nuts. Because you can gain 25 and inflict 25, which puts your opponent behind by 5,000 life points before you even go to battle phase. And that actually matters because sometimes with the game plan I have, I resolve the Field Spell, and I can't do any more damage for the rest of that turn. So I'll use this to gain life and this to inflict damage, then clear my opponent's field. So even if I couldn't like OTK them, I still got to push and put them behind in life. So these are the boss monsters, and the final one I play is 1 copy of Dyna. So Dyna he's cute. I really like the interactions that he has in specific matchups. What he does, if you special him, you banish cards from your opponent's grave equal to the number of For Hire monsters, including itself, that you control, with different names. So, like, if you're playing against decks like Salamangreats when they come out, if you want to really play the risk against Southern Dragons, that's a chance that you can still out their Colossuses. If you're able to OTK them, I would say go for it, banish all their Thunders. If you can OTK them, then just do it. If you're playing against like guys, Strikers, Dracos, you know, decks that kind of rely on having specific cards in their grave, he's a really good card. And also, you can't target any one of the monsters for attacks except him. If you have 2 of them, it's the dupe lock, but I'm just playing 1 of them. And these are all the big guys. The only thing with the big guys is they don't have the same effects as the other fires that allow you to extend your plays a lot more. They do a lot of spamming from hand, but the deck also has a lot of draw power and a lot of ways for you to replenish the resources that you expend through the duration of your combos. There's a lot of ways that you can set it up and push it further, but the beginning plays of it are very fragile. When I understand how fragile it is, that's why I'm playing it in a going second variant, because I feel that you can get better pushes going second. If you're going first, there's not really much you can do except set up those 2 negates. And this is 90-90 boo-boo. If somebody can't play through these 2, then like they have to like reevaluate how they're playing the deck. So I feel that this wasn't good enough for me to consider playing this deck going first. And I didn't want to play Floodgates or anything like that. So we're just going second with it. And then we play 3 copies of Beat. This is the man. Like Turtle said, Beat is the man. He searches out the entire deck. So all the baby For Hires, which are actually the best ones to me, they allow you to special another For Hire from your hand except for themselves during the main phase. And then if a For Hire is special summon while they're on the field, they have additional effects. So they all share the same effect as special from hand. If one summon on the field while he's on the field, he searches any For Hire. And then the next best one is Helmer. Helmer lets you discard 1 and draw 1. So search power, draw power. And I'm maximizing on these because I noticed playing with this deck, you brick when you don't open at least 3 of these. You can't even open 2. Like, you have to open at least 3. And if you open 2, you have to open 2 plus another one so that you can make Foggle and keep extending your plays, because Foggle is like Summon Sorcerers 2.0. But like, I maximize on all these because you literally brick when you don't draw multiples of them. Like, you literally have to draw multiples of them or you can't really make plays that like as consistently as you want. But what Seal does is he adds a for hire from grave to hand. So these all accumulate hand advantage and replenish and allow you to keep your card economy on par with the ratios that you need it to stay on for you to keep summoning from hand. Because every time you summon from hand, you have to consider this is a -1, this is a -1, this is a -1. So these are really good because they allow you to circumvent for that. And it's not like a mitigation, but it's somewhat of like a pseudo supplement for the resources that you're expending, and you're just getting them back. So you're not plussing, you're breaking even, if that makes sense. And then we call these cards the dicks. So me and Turtle call these the dicks, and they really are dicks. 3 Dampas, and also his little brother, 3 copies of Recon. I'm maximizing on all of them, like, and it's the reason why, like, I told you, like, you have to open like 2 to 3 of them. Like, consistently, you need to open 3 of the baby ones, or you can't really make plays the way you want to, trust me. So Dampas destroys a face-up card, and Recon destroys a set card.
Are you done?
Because the format it's diverse in the sense that there's half control and there's half combo. I feel that neither one of these are going to be bad in any matchup, because even the combo decks are still setting back rows. Like Salamangreats and Orcus are still going to be setting back rows. Thunder Dragons still do set back rows. Altergeist and Sky Shirkers are still around. And then the ability to pop face-ups is good in any matchup, even if it's Geist. They have face-ups that you can kill. And what's really cool is these are some of the main ways you could trigger your Foggle, which is actually nuts because Foggle lets you draw 3. And then finally, to sum up the for hires, I played 3 copies of Bravo. So Bravo just boosts all your for hires by 500. His base statistics are actually 1900, which is really strong, so he becomes a 2400 beater. Me personally, right now, what I feel are the best for hires are actually the Seal. I really just think that the Seal, the Beat, and the Helmer are really what solve a lot of the problems that I've ran into just playing this deck. And in my opinion, like, even turn 1, you trigger Seal. Like, I'm telling you, you will trigger Seal. And for me personally, I just think Seal is absolutely the best one, because you start burning through resources, and I play Pot of Desires, and you start like banishing the copies that you need in deck. So Beat becomes less powerful, but Seal will always be as good as Beat, because Seal acts as Beat, getting you whatever you want. Because once you get a copy of almost everything in grave turn 1, so Seal becomes a Beat just from grave anytime you need it to be, and that's actually better for me personally, because again, you'll banish your copies of certain things. So I think Seal right now is like really one of my favorites. He's really, really good, you guys. And Helmer is okay too. Like, just being able to pitch one and draw, you can filter, because sometimes you have the issue when you draw 2 of the same one and you can't use them to special themselves. So they're pretty good. I like them. And then we're gonna move forward to the text. So instead of playing hand traps, I decided to actually main deck 3 copies of Phantasme and 3 copies of Pancratops. The way I feel about hand traps is the only time I want to use hand traps is if I'm playing against a deck that I know like is not going to let me play, or it's going to be too difficult to play. And since we like really don't have to worry about too many FTKs, and there's not like people spamming Rongo Miniat or anything like that, as long as I have a chance to play, I feel that for hires are really good at breaking boards, and like I've proven that thoroughly, even breaking some like really tough boards, which I didn't think I could crack. The thing is, like, if you play the deck right, it actually is not like a linear one-trick pony. There's a lot of options that you had, and there's a myriad of toolboxing that the deck can actually do. It functions really well. And considering that you can spam rank 4s, it gives you even more versatility in the monsters that you can procure for your plays. But Pancratops is really good for the simple fact that it is a type that neither one of the for hires are, and also Phantasme solves the issue where this deck loses to 1 Impermanence or 1 Veiler. Like, if I normal beat and my opponent Impermanences or Veilers it, I have to have an extender automatically or I lose, because that just stops the chain right there. But Phantasme negates anything that targets and destroys it. So this card is like, it's like a call by grave on legs that gives me draw power. It gives me a body on field that allows me to summon Foggle, and on top of that, like, if I want to sit on it, it's not a bad card to sit on. So it's just nuts. And you need a lot of draw power for this deck, because there's a lot of specific cards that you need to see. So the 3 Pancratops and the 3 Phantasmes. And ironic enough, you actually end up using Pancratops. Like, I did it today against this dude. Where he at? Oh, with this dude, like, he did the Titan Colossus board, like the double of the one that stops you from searching and then the one that pops. And
Jamie.
I ended up clearing his field. And the last one that I hit, I used Giant Hand to negate its effects. And then I used Pancratops to pop. It was crazy, and then I like ended up board loading and finishing the rest of the board, but it was pretty nuts. Like, It's good at breaking boards, like if you know what you're doing. Now for the spells, I play 3 copies of Pot of Desires. I play 3 of everything that's important to me, including the Phantasmes and the Pancreas. The cards that don't matter that much to me personally are just the Dynas, the Sagittas, and the Wiz. Everything else is at 3, and I can really afford to play without them. Like, it's not like I'm going to die without them. But we have 3 pots. You can't play Extravagance because this deck actually draws a ton. So we have 3 pots. I never really seen for our decks playing this. I was checking, like, I did my research. Like, everybody, like, I even seen a profile where this dude, like, why didn't you play a field spell? And he said, because that card's bad. I don't think that this card's bad at all. Actually, it's a really good card, and it's a problem solver. So during your draw phase, you can relinquish your draw phase, and you can fetch a for hire that you need that can either set you up, or if your hand was bad, this can just make it playable in the first place. But its best effect, which is one of the main inspirations for going second, is if you have 5 for hires on field with different names, you can destroy all cards your opponent controls. And if you think that's hard to do, then you haven't played for hires. It's super easy to do that. In fact, that's all they do is just spam themselves. That's why I made 3 Skull Dreads in 1 turn, and a Borreload and a Borosword, using the Skull Dreads as link materials just to, like, style. Like, you can do a lot of spamming, and you can do a lot of extending. It's really easy to set up with this field spell. Like, if you can resolve this field spell, you'll destroy all cards your opponent controls, but the thing is, they don't take any damage for the rest of the turn. That's why you resolve Sagitta to burn them for 25, and Wiz to gain yourself 75. So you have 10,500, and your opponent has 55, so they're actually behind 5,000, and you clear the field anyways. So it's really nuts. I play 3 of it. And then I play 2 Mayhems. I think it's a good card, and it does help you to trigger your Dompo on your opponent's turn, which is actually really cool. There's some cute plays I was thinking about with this and Topologic Bomber. But you can use this as an extender if your opponent stops your lineage. Then you can just activate this, summon a dude from grave, and then you can prop their effect to special from hand. Also, making plays on your opponent's turn. This is another way to trigger Falgo, because you can activate this special one, trigger Dompo to pop one of your opponent's cards. Falgo will let you draw 3 on your opponent's turn. You can also play Ghost Ogre, and Ghost Ogre on your opponent's turn triggers Falgo. Falgo basically lets you draw 3 anytime you kill one of your opponent's cards, or one of your opponent's cards just get destroyed. They can destroy it themselves if you control different names. I think you have to control 3 for hires with different names. And then these are the last spells of the deck. I don't play any traps. It's all gas, no breaks. We have Road to the Search B. Everything in this deck is different levels. Like, I think the closest someone could get is if they call level 7, because I play the 3 Pancreas and then the 3 Phantasmes. But how would anybody know my list? Like, I would activate Reason, and they just, like, call level 4. Most people do. They always do. They call level 4. And then the 1 Terra to get the field spell, because I really just love the field spell. Even though the deck does a lot of drawing, I just didn't want to take my chances on relying wholeheartedly on the drawing to see the field spell. So I felt playing 4 copies of it was decent mathematically. And the extra deck, we actually play 3 Falgo. It's all about Falgo and friends. If you guys, like, don't know what this card does, it's actually stupid good. I mean, like, when you're going second, you can simplify the game state, and you can systematically pick your opponent's board apart, and you can actually count in your hand on your field how many more cards you have than your opponent, and you can just look at them and just say, I'm winning right now. Like, I'm winning with my furry friends. And Falgo does, like, an amazing job to alleviate for a lot of the issues that this deck had. I felt that Falgo, before Falgo came out, this deck really wasn't good, but Falgo is amazing. So what it does, you need to use 3 monsters of different types. That's why Phantasme and Pinkero also helped to make this, because none of the for hires are dinos, and none of the for hires are no, I'm sorry, Raphael is a dragon, so he is a dragon, but you use 3 monsters of different types to make this, so it is kind of generic, being that any deck can make them, but he only works for hires. If he's summoned, you basically can summon a for hire with a different type other than the monsters you use to link summon him. So if you use, like, for example, a reptile, you can't summon a reptile, but basically, if you didn't use a warrior, you use him to summon B. And that monster does not have its effects negated, so he literally just is summon Sorceress 2.0, and you keep extending your plays that way. Also, if your opponent's cards are destroyed, one of your opponent's cards, or like all of them, either way it has a plural with an S, you can draw 1 card, or if you control 2 other for hires with different names, you draw 3 cards instead. So it literally is like a better Pot of the Greed. Like, it's like a card of Demise that has almost no restriction at all, and it's a really solid boss monster. And once you make this, if you're you just use the field spell, kill your opponent's field, draw 3, and then you set up with your Mayhem for hire or your Pankratops. You just leave Pankratops on board, and basically on your opponent's turn, you can use Mayhem or Pankratops to trigger this, and you draw 3 more. Like, I've done it where I drew 3 on my turn. I blew my opponent's field up when I was testing this against the Sky Striker variant, and then I used the Man for Hire to trigger Dampa, and Dampa popped the field spell. All I wanted to do was draw 3. I didn't care that Ray was gonna come off the deck, and I popped the field spell, and I drew 3 off of Foggo, and he special summoned the Ray, and like it didn't make a difference at the end of it. A 3 Foggo, it's just so good, man. Like I'm playing 3 of it. You go through it a lot. Trish Bania, because the deck, I don't want to play through a lot of back rows, and if there's a chance that I can just clear all of them, I'd rather clear all of them than waste my resources going card for card exchange, like 1 for 1 here, 1 for 1 there. I hate having to do that. Tri-Gate, because it's really easy to actually do a Tri-Gate board. The cutest Tri-Gate board ever is actually this one. It's the easiest one to do. And then Binary. I think Binary Tri-Gate is a crazy good push. The fact that you can do the double damage, give him the boost, and it's just nuts. Like, Tri-Gate is really good going second. I think Tri-Gate's better going second than he is going first. And then 1 Skull Dread, I only have 1, but I would definitely play 3 because you can make 3 easily. Griffin, so whenever you're going for your pushes and you break your opponent's board, if you use the field spell, you can't OTK them because they don't take any more damage for the rest of the turn. So what you end up doing, actually they don't, for the rest of the turn, so what you end up doing is you clear their field and you end on a board that you know is optimal enough to actually survive you for a turn. Even if they break your board, it's just you have to make sure that the board can protect you from being OTK'd, and Griffin helps with that a lot. And then we have Boarload and Boarsword, which you make both of them like it's nobody's business. And then Dweller and Giant Hand for my toolbox rank 4s. The side deck's still under Woodworks. What's the timer on it?
What? Oh, 16 minutes and 5 seconds.
All right, so I'll do a quick test time really fast so you guys can see just how consistent the deck really is. So I'm gonna do a quick power shuffle, and then I'll just show you guys like exactly what you can do with this deck. It's pretty good. It actually is. Like I'm actually gonna, when I get everything down in ratios, I'm gonna take this to my locals. All right, let's see what we get. I never even like imagined that I would end up playing for hires too. This deck's just really cool, man. All right. Would you like to cut, sir?
Yes, sir. He who sits on Pankratops.
He who sits on Pankratops. All right, let's see what I draw. So we got, wow. It's only because you touched my deck. Yes. Oh, you gave me more than 1. Thank you, sir. So we're going to draw a 6 card because we always go second. That's the game plan. So we're going to special our Pankratops, and we're going to sit on our Pankratops until we're ready to use them. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to play pot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the deck's not really that bad because the only searcher you actually use is B. The deck has 1 search, so Colossus is not going to hurt you as much as you think because the deck does more drawing than anything. It has only 1 searcher, so it doesn't really hurt that much. Ooh. Oh yeah. Let's see, did we banish 3 copies of anything? Nope, so we can still play.
So you still have your A's in the deck, cool.
Yep, I have all 3 ASO boards in my deck. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do, it'd be nice if we drew the field spell, that would actually be nuts, is we're going to normal summon Beat. We're then going to use Beat's effect, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to special out our Dampa. We're going to trigger Beat to search. And what we'll do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to filter the hand a little bit. So we're going to grab our Helmer. We'll use Dampa to special the Helmer. And we're going to use the Dampa's effect to go ahead and pop one of our opponent's cards. If they had one to pop, which they should have one to pop. I mean, we're going second. Let's just be realistic. And then we're going to use Helmer to special summon the seal. So what we'll do now is we're going to take... oh yeah, and we're going to trigger Helmer, by the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to discard... let me check my banish. No, I can get Wiz back off seal. So we're going to discard the Wiz to draw 1. We drew a Helmer. And we'll take Helmer, Dampa, and Beat. Warrior, Aqua, and Beast, and we'll go into Foggo. And we'll trigger Foggo to summon one that's not a Warrior, that's not a Beast, and that's not an Aqua. So what we'll do is we'll go ahead and special summon out Bravo. And Bravo is going to trigger Seal. So what we're going to do is we're going to use Seal to add 1 from grave to hand. And I'm going to get that Wiz that I pitched to draw. So as you can clearly see, I basically drew a card for free because the same card I discarded to draw, I got it back. So that's what I meant earlier, but like you circumventing. All right, so Bravo's out. Then we can use Pinkertops to pop another card, which is going to trigger Foggle, and we're going to draw 3. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, 7 in hand. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to use the seal. So we have 2 lines of play to extend, which is really nice that you have more options. We're going to use seal, and we're going to go ahead and we'll special summon out. Should we go for Wiz or Sajida?
Sajida.
Actually, what I'll do is I'll go for Raphael to see if I can dig, because I've used up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's still one more that I can use, which is the Recon. So Recon, I can still use Recon as an extender unless I banished all 3 Recons. Let's see. Nope, there's a Recon left in there. So we're gonna Raphael to 1, 2, 3. We're gonna excavate 3. Oh, Phantasme loves me today. I already have a Phantasme in hand. Yeah, I'll just take another one. Why not?
This gives you more reason to keep tapping that down.
And then we're gonna go ahead and we'll special summon the Sajida. And we're gonna burn our opponent for 5, 10, 15, 20. Burn our opponent for 2K. Then we'll take all of these. You can go for Borreload, Boresword. I'm gonna go for Skuldred just to style. So go for Skuldred. Currently we have 6 cards in hand. I was in line when I said this deck draws a lot. 3, 4. The Field Spell. And let's see, we've used Helmer special from hand. We used Dampa. We did all those. So I suppose what we'll do. This is our hand. So I'll take the, let's see, what are we gonna put back? So we have an extra Pinkertops that's there. We could put that back. Or as a matter of fact, we could keep the Pinkertops. So let's see, we'll put back Phantasme, the pot that I know I'm not gonna use.
Alright, what's going on, man? It's your turn. What'd you do?
And then I'll put back the Bravo, I suppose. We'll put back the Bravo, right?
You mean Johnny Bravo?
Yeah, Johnny Bravo.
Yeah, y'all too young to know what that is.
And then we can use Saruja Skuldred, and what we'll do.
I'll blow that up.
Wow, there's like so much that like this didn't even have to be the Skuldred, but I really just wanted to do it. So we can then use Skuldred, and you know what I'll do? I'll special summon that Phantasme out from my hand. Or no, we'll special it anyway. So I'll special the Pinkertops.
I know, it's okay.
We can just swing with all those. I mean, we've got to pop quite a few cards.
And you did bring your opponent for 2,000 too.
Yeah. And we can just swing with all those. If you saw that Boresword was going to be good enough and you knew that you could kill them, then you just make the Boresword. But if you can't kill them, then don't ever make a Boresword. Because if they Boreload you and take your Boresword, you're dead. So we summon the Pinkertops. We can seize a little bit of control. We activate Pandora, and then we can still use Phantasme, which is actually nuts, to draw more cards and just set up more plays. And Pinkertops is going to allow us to draw 1 because of just the Falco alone, which is it's actually really good. So yeah, like that's one test hand, and that just shows you like how much the deck can actually do. And just because I chose to make Skuldred doesn't mean that you have to make Skuldred. You could have done Baby Nightmares, you could have got some co-link action, started discarding and drawing. Like there's a lot you could do. It's a really awesome deck. I think it's really great, and you should try it out, man. It's not really hard to build. It's like a $50 deck. The only cards that cost money are beats, and they're 11 bucks. Everything else is like literally $1 or less. And yeah, that's gonna be it for my for higher deck profile. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. God bless you. Make good choices. Don't hurt your brain cells. Stay tuned for future content and stay positive. Peace.
You will be able to shortly.